Rain persisted in coming down. The Ferrari front row, for the first time no McLarens on the front row as the British Grand Prix got underway. And the two Ferraris able to get their power down, feeding in the power very, very gently indeed. There they are. It's Berger into the lead, Alboreto in second place, Senna third, and one of the marches made a superb start up into fourth position. And there's another march in sixth position. I don't know how they could see anything out there in Silverstone. It's Gugelmin well up. And then Capelli back there in sixth place, and seventh was Piquet in the Lotus. Blinding conditions.
But this is when going gets really tough. You can't even see the colour of the car you're following, let alone what it is. You have to just go by the shine on the road and watch out very carefully. Understeer slightly, don't brake too hard, don't accelerate too hard, don't do anything too abruptly. Very exacting.
And Senna and Berger making it an exciting opening few laps at Silverstone, while poor Jonathan Palmer is still sitting in the pit, stuck there since the end of the warm-up lap. Gerhard Berger in the lead, Ayrton Senna in second place, but Alain Prost is nowhere. He made an absolutely hopeless start. He's currently lying in ninth place in the wet conditions and driving very, very badly, or he's got a problem with the car. So Prost out of it at the moment, and Philippe Streff about to go out of it with his rear wing all askew. Sterling,
he won't get out of there. That stuff is fantastic, actually. If you go into that shale, it really does what it's meant to do. It stops you fast.
And Berger leading for Ferrari, the first time any car other than a McLaren has led a race in 1988, but not for long, as Berger came up in the lead to lap Prost. He faltered coming out of that corner, and Senna dived on his inside into the lead as they lapped Prost, and Senna forced his teammate Prost out of the way, all stuck behind Modena's Eurobrun, and even Berger shoulders his way past the faltering Alain Prost. Senna into the lead, Berger still holding second place in the Ferrari. And in amongst all that spray behind him, there's a lot of activity taking place. There's Alboreto, and just behind him there's Nannini going inside Gugelmin to take fourth place. And the Tyrrells are in there amongst them, complicating matters still. And Mansell goes inside Gugelmin. So Mansell up into fifth place. There was no doubt about it. Mansell was the man on the move. And he wasn't content with that fifth place, and he attacked Nannini, diving down the inside of Nannini to take fourth place and almost third place from Michele Alboreto. And in all the confusion and the pressure on him, Alessandro Nannini spun away, dropping 3 places. Michele Alboreto, his mirrors full of Nigel Mansell. Mansell, of course, who will take Alboreto's seat in the Ferrari team in 1989, and Mansell dived down the inside of the Ferrari and took that third place, and the British crowd loved it. Just watch the hands go up in the air. Marvellous stuff from Mansell, really attacking in this terribly wet British Grand Prix at Silverstone, Sterling.
Yeah, he really is going. He's a real fighter. I must say that about Mansell. He is about the biggest fighter we've had for a very long time.
Alain Prost into the pits. He had been lying in a very lowly 16th place, and he gave up the ghost. There was some problem with the car. He wasn't happy with the wet conditions, but that was a retirement for Prost. Alessandro Nannini in the meantime was recovering and catching up Nigel Mansell. A brave move into the Woodcote chicane to take third place from Mansell. Very neatly done by the Benetton driver, but albeit just briefly took third place, as these two drivers then indulged in a fabulous dice that kept the very cold British crowd on its toes, and I dare say a little bit warmer. Nannini got it all wrong going into the chicane.
And I reckon he did that just to prove me wrong. Look, he's got out of it. It's amazing. You're not supposed to do what he did. I'll tell you, either spin or get out of the gravel there.
Nonetheless, Alessandro Nannini rejoined the race, and there, out of the side pods of the car, came all the shale from the trap at the edge of the chicane, scattering little stones all over the track. And Thierry Boutsen, his Benetton teammate, retired from 8th place with a smoking engine. Meanwhile, Michele Alboreto took a gamble for Ferrari by coming into the pits for slick tyres, which dropped him from 8th place down to 11th. A very optimistic change. Gerhard Berger, he's now getting Nigel Mansell in his mirrors. Mansell is closing on the second place Berger Ferrari. Mansell making a slingshot manoeuvre, went very wide there.
Wow, I can't understand why he did that, frankly. I think it must have taken control of him a bit, because I'm sure you'd never drive as wide as that if you could help it.
There's the replay. Berger trying to hang on to his second place, but Mansell goes really wide out to the white line in a slingshot manoeuvre, then stays tight into the corner but takes second place in the British Grand Prix. Alessandro Nannini now moves ahead of Gerhard Berger and up into third place. Berger down into fourth in the Ferrari. They really are in trouble, and more trouble for Ferrari as Michele Alboreto comes back into the pits to change back onto wet weather tyres, this time dropping himself from 11th down to 14th place. There we are, the sign telling Berger to go slow. He said he hadn't got enough fuel, and now Gugelmin goes past. Gugelmin up into fourth place. Ayrton Senna in the meantime in the lead of the British Grand Prix, but Gerhard Berger still in trouble with fuel and trying to hang on to that sixth place, and behind him Warwick, Cheever and Patrese about to gobble him up as the Ferrari driver faltered just before the line on the last corner, the last lap, and they've all got past, and Berger dropped down to ninth place.
And there's Senna, a fantastic win for Senna. But the man of the race, let's face it, has to be Nigel Mansell. There he is, waving to his crowd. Now that crowd have to be worth at least half a second a lap to him. He has driven a fantastic race in these really bad conditions and loved it.
In third place, Alessandro Nannini, and the first time on the rostrum for him. And in fourth position, Mauricio Gugelmin getting his first ever World Championship points ahead of Nelson Piquet, fifth, and Derek Warwick, sixth. Meantime, there's a battle royal going on the rostrum, with McLaren boss Ron Dennis getting a soaking, Nigel Mansell getting a soaking from Senna because he hasn't got his ammunition yet, but he soon gets back into action and soaks Senna.
I couldn't get over it. Every time I sort of climbed up, once I was in sort of seventh place, every time I overtook someone they were clapping and cheering, and it was marvellous, absolutely.
So at this halfway point in the season in 1988, it was 4-4 between Prost and Senna, and it looked likely to be the man who was going to win the most races who would be champion at the end of the season. They could only count their 11 best scores, and Prost had already said second place was not good enough. Behind Prost and Senna, Berger in third place with 21 points. And in the Constructors' World Championship, McLaren Honda had a healthy 102 points as opposed to Ferrari with 34.